speak now to investigative journalist Ray Joseph, who for years now has relentlessly pursued corruption in the Lotteries Commission. Ray, thank you so much for joining us. Talk to me about what you know about this former Lotteries Commission head, Alfred Nevhutanda.
So, Alfred Nevhutanda, who goes by the name, or he uses the title professor. In fact, he's got a diploma and he's not a professor. That's where it begins. He's heavily politically connected. He was very high up in the ANC in Limpopo. Under his 11-year tenure at the NLC, hundreds of millions, I suspect far more. We only know what we know. I don't know what we don't know, has disappeared because of corruption. He also, Alfred, just background, Alfred Nevhutanda led the charge against both me and Groundup and our reporting. He went to the extent of reporting me to the State Security Agency. He accused me of hacking into the NLC's computers, all under the privilege of Parliament. So that's the background. He's also a pastor in a church. So this house was bought in 2018. And what happened is money flowed from non-profits that receive money from the lottery for a variety of things. In this case, 2 of them are old age homes that have never been completed. One of them is a drug rehab that hasn't been completed. The money went from them via sometimes circuitous routes, but they ended up in the trust account of an attorney who was handling the purchase of the sale of that house. The purchase price of the house was 27 million rand. Another 3 million rand was transfer fee, so you're looking at 30 million. The house is on its own private estate, so there's no other properties. They are the only residents on it. It's a massive house, and just to put it into context with you, the bedroom, which is its own lounge, its own kitchen, it's got everything that opens and shuts. The main bedroom is 460 square meters. Every bedroom has its own kitchen, lounge, etc. So this is one big place. Anyway, the money flowed to the attorneys, and the house was purchased, as you said, by a company of which he, by the way, is the sole director. In other cases, so there's a company called Mashone, which the SIU have identified as part of the washing machine that is kind of cleaning money en route from the lottery into the pockets of people who shouldn't be doing it. This Mashone in this case received, it's about 12 million rand, 12 million rand, of which 9 million was then sent off towards paying for Mr. Nevhutanda's house.
Ray, I want to just jump in. I mean, it's shocking what I'm hearing. Does the SIU's move today to freeze that house, is that the final piece in the puzzle? Is that really honing in on where we need to be to crack this whole thing open?
Well, I think, Sally, it's a beginning. There are other people who are heavily implicated. So there has been a problem with the special tribunal, and it's one of the reasons you've not seen a lot of lottery matters go before them. The judge's term on the tribunal ended. They appointed on a 3-year term, and the head of the tribunal. That expired in March, and for a period the SIU didn't take any new matters to the tribunal. I suspect is because the NLC is so litigious, and what they needed is for the proclamation for the tribunal to be extended, which is being done, and you're going to see over the next weeks and months a flurry of very big names. We are starting now to home in on the people behind it. It's starting to happen. Not fast enough for many, but when you're dealing with litigious people in courts, if you don't have your ducks in the row, it's no use going for it. And I must say they've been meticulous. They've collected the evidence. And yes, this is, it's not the end, Sally, but it's the beginning of the end that we see.
The property that was seized, freezing of assets is a fairly significant thing because it can obviously stop someone in their tracks if they're in the process of corruption. Is there a hope and a chance that whatever is seized will go back to the people who were meant to receive it in the first place? Because while I look at these images of this massive 27 million rand house, I can't help thinking of the poor people who desperately needed those funds and don't have them.
Well, so in all three cases, the two drug rehabs and the two old age homes and the drug rehab, I've personally been there. They basically are rotting in the elements. They've been abandoned. There's not enough money to finish them. Certainly the one in Limpopo, the only way you're ever going to fix that is to smash it down and start again. There's cars sheltering in it. So really, and you're seeing this, to put that in context, Sally, the NLC gave on average 25, 30 million rand each to 6 old age homes and 4 rehabs. To this day, not one has ever been completed or is operational. You're looking at 250 million to 300 million rand. So, and these places generally are in very isolated rural areas. They're not close to the kind of people who would need to staff them.
Yeah.
They're not close to the people who would need access to them. Mm-hmm. The NLC will argue with this, but I believe that they were hidden away in this way.
Well, I have to thank you, investigative journalist Ray Joseph, who, of course, has been tracking what has been happening to Lotteries Money, telling us that the seizing of the assets of the former head of the commission, Alfred Nevhutanda, is very significant. And he said that in the next few months, we will see a lot of high-profile names exposed in the lottery rot.